yellow safety bag, paddleboard, fins, snorkeling mask, paddle. Let's go. I should probably tell you what we're doing today. We are at Coral Bay, off on a paddleboard kayak adventure. There are 4 kayak moorings around Coral Bay that you can latch your raft onto and go snorkeling around. 4 sites that we're going to explore by snorkel. The ultimate goal of our expeditions today and tomorrow is to see a manta ray, or manta rays, or manta's ray, depending on what your preference for the plural is. Jury's still out on that. Hopefully it will tick off our bucket list item for manta rays. We already saw humpbacks up in Exmouth, which was incredible. We didn't see any whale sharks, but we'd already resigned ourselves to the fact that we weren't going to see any, so let's just not talk about that. We saw turtles as well, so those are our big 3: humpbacks, turtles, manta rays, today or tomorrow. Either way works. Let's go. Beep, 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 beep.
I want to know you, but I don't know how. 'Cause every time I bump right into you, I get all tongue-tied. Want you to know me, but I'm way too shy. I can't just go around admitting that it's you.
Our first mooring. Worth noting that we hit 2 buoys before we found this one. Navigation is still a developing skill. Room for improvement, I'd say. Update is that the dive case that one of us accidentally let drop in the water is continuing to fog up, and we will not be able to use it.
We've had a bit of disaster.
So we had a couple of options. One was to paddle all the way back, let it dry in the sun for, I'm going to say, around 3 hours while the sponge in it completely dries, because we think that's still wet and that's what makes it fog. Or we can continue using no dive case and we just won't go very deep. The GoPro is waterproof, so that's what we're going to do, but it will mean that you won't be able to hear us for the rest of the video, as the sound will go. Anyway, this is Cowtails. Looking forward to figuring out why it's named so. Or maybe we won't. Guess we'll see. Ladylike snorkeling is my forte. Let's go.
I wish that I had guts enough to flirt a little, but I'm too scared I'll fail. I wish that I could listen to the voice inside me, a voice that always says, give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask around, only takes one try, yeah. Even if she tells you no, then at least you know. Pass me by. Sometimes you look my way and say my name, I turn around, but when I see you, you just walk on by. It's like you wanna talk but get caught up by your own mind.
Alright, site number 2, here we come. We're going to the maze.
I'm so stoked about this one.
Zane is looking forward to this one. He's been talking about it for days. Well, we made it to the maze. We've moored. This is definitely the furthest out we've ever been on the paddleboard from shore.
So loud. There's a turtle right there.
No way!
Every time I bump right into you, I get all tongue-tied. Want you to know me, but I'm way too shy. I can't just go around admitting that it's you I like. I wish that I had guts enough to flirt a little, but I'm too scared I'll fail. I wish that I could listen to the voice inside me, a voice that always says, give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask around, only takes one try, yeah. Sometimes you look my way and say my name and I turn around. But when I see you, you just walk on by. It's like you wanna talk but get caught up by your own mind. I wish that I had guts enough to flirt a little, but I'm too scared I'll fail. I wish that I could listen to the voice inside me, a voice that always says, give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask her out. Only takes one try, yeah. Even if she tells you no, then at least you know. So give it a go, give it a go. Oh, oh. I wish that I had guts enough to flirt a little, but I'm too scared I'll fail. I wish that I could listen to the voice inside me, a voice that always says, give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask her out. Only takes one try, yeah. Even if she tells you no, then at least you know. So give it a go, give it a go. Oh,
Magic. Oh man. Alright, we might be crazy, but we've seen what looks like a large dorsal fin over this way, maybe, I don't know, 500 meters away. So we're going for a quick paddle, have a look. So it's a rock, piece of coral. We're gonna go back now. Well, in my attempt to be awesome, I broke the thing that holds my snorkel onto my mask. It's there. So now I'm gonna be struggling. So we made it past 2 p.m. and we made it to 2 sites. We're gonna go back and call it a day. Plus we're cold, and plus,
hungry. We haven't eaten since breakfast since 7.
yeah. So you remember when I dropped the dive case into the water and we decided to go diving with our GoPro without the dive case? Well, next morning we woke up and the camera was flooded. It had water inside the battery compartment and it wouldn't turn on. And I was so upset because that following day we went scuba diving and the conditions were perfect. There was no wind, the water was crystal clear, and the scuba dives were amazing. We got to swim through these towering canyons of coral, and we saw 3 octopus, and we saw this absolutely incredible, massive behemoth of a coral bomb, and we sat underwater and watched as reef shark would come out of the blue around the corner and do a couple laps of this massive bomb of coral with its mouth wide open, fish coming up, following it around, sneaking little things out of its teeth. The biggest thing though is it was the full moon, which means in between our 2 dives, we got to go snorkeling with manta rays. And I kid you not, we saw 5 manta rays all in a mating chain, 4 males following 1 massive female up the front. They say they do that for days until there's just 1 male left. One of the divers we were with did have a camera and he captured a bit of footage, so that's what I'm showing you here so that you can see a little bit of what it was like. And so we were following these for about 15-20 minutes, and we had stopped because the manta rays had gone down so deep that we couldn't really see them that well anymore. And as we stopped, the female turned and swam straight up towards us and did a backflip. All the males followed her, and they were doing this backflipping somersault all in line. This mating dance that they do as part of their ceremony because the full moon was out and it was the season, and it was just pure magic. So our last ocean wildlife encounter experience that we want to share with you is after we finished up at Coral Bay, we headed south again on the west coast, and we went to Monkey Maya, which is up on another long peninsula. They're really famous for having a dolphin encounter. We had somewhat low expectations because we know that it's very crowded. You get about 250 to 300 people strung out down the beach, all trying to crane their heads out to get a glimpse of the dolphins. And they usually pick one of the very many kids that are lined up there to grab a fish, come out, drop it off to the dolphin takes it, and the dolphin swims off, comes back for another one perhaps. However, the day we were there, the volunteer decided to pick somebody a little bit older.
Oh my goodness, so cute.
Okay, sort of by the tail there.
Water, let go. Okay. If you're lucky, your fin will touch you.
Okay, bring it back around so you can get some photos.
Okay. Thank you.
I got defeated.